Hello my dear children. In today's science class, we will discuss about a new chapter. The name of the chapter is chapter number 15, Light. Learning objectives are: first, we define light, then luminous and non-luminous objects. Next, shadow formation that requires a source of light, an opaque object and a screen. The characteristics of a shadow, reflecting surface, and images that are different from shadow. Above all this topic in a detailed form. First, let's start. What is light? Light is a form of energy that helps us to see things around us. If there is no light, then we are unable to see or find out any object, because whenever lights are present, it reflects on that object and we are able to see that particular object. Now you can understand that why we are not able to see anything in dark. Type of lights. Lights are two types. One is luminous object and non-luminous object. Luminous object means object which emit light of their own is known as luminous object. Example, sun, star. Luminous also can be classified in two groups. One is natural source, other one is man-made or artificial source. Natural source, they emit light on their own. Sun, star are the natural source of light, and man-made source, bulb, tube light, etc. are also emit light on their own. Non-luminous object, objects that do not have light of their own but are visible when light falls on them, are called non-luminous object. For example, moon. Based on the ability of the light to pass through the object, they are classified into three groups. First, transparent, translucent and opaque. First, what is transparent object? Transparent object allow light to pass through them fully are called transparent object. Example are glass, air and water. Now, translucent objects allow light to pass through them partially. For example, butter paper, smoked glass. Opaque objects do not allow any light to pass through them. Example, wood, wall, book, etc. Now, our next topic is shadow. Shadow is a dark shape produced when an opaque object comes between a source of light and a surface, which is also known as screen, is called a shadow. For the formation of shadow, the following three things are needed. Number one, a source of light. Number two, an opaque object that obstructs the source of light. And number three, a screen. One more important information for you children. A big source of light produces two regions in a shadow. The darker region is known as ambra and the lighter region is known as penumbra. Why do we not see the shadow of aeroplane and a flying bird? The reason are, if the distance between the object and the screen keeps on increasing, then a stage is reached when we do not see any shadow at all. Shadows are formed when the aeroplane and flying bird come closer to the ground or screen on which their shadow is formed. Hope this shadow concept is clear to you all. Now, an interesting topic for you children, pinhole camera. A pinhole camera is an application of light traveling in a straight line. Pinhole images of the sun and the moon during eclipse you can observe. What is lunar eclipse? Lunar eclipse occur when the sun, the earth and the moon are in a line so that the shadow of the earth falls upon the moon. Is known as lunar eclipse. Now, what is solar eclipse? Solar eclipse occur when the shadow of the moon falls on the earth. Is solar eclipse. Now, an interesting natural pinhole camera is for you children. You must have observed some small circular patches of sunlight under trees covered with a large number of leaves. These small circular patches are pinhole images of the sun. There are irregular shaped gaps between the leaves which act as pinhole. Although the gaps are of irregular shapes, the image of the sun are always circular. Clear children? Last part of the topic is from this chapter, mirror, images and reflection. First, what is mirror? Mirror is a smooth surface which reflects a clear image. An image is formed in a mirror when the light coming from an illuminated object is reflected by the surface of the mirror. We use the mirror when we dressed up or combing our hair. Now, how are images in a plain mirror is different from a shadow? First, the length of the shadow changes with the change in the position of the object with respect to the source of light. But in case of image, the length of the image in a mirror is always remain same size. Next, the shadow is always black in color irrespective of the color of the object or the color of the light. But in image, the image in a mirror is of the same color as the object. Next, the shadow has no lateral inversion, but the image of the mirror is laterally inverted. Next, a shadow is formed on a screen. The image in a mirror can only be seen and cannot be formed on a screen. Now, the last one, what is reflection? The phenomena of bouncing back of light from the surface of an object is called reflection. Reflection gives rise to image formation. Hope this full chapter is clear to you all.